Good morning, South Florida, and welcome to the Breakfast at the Brooklyn Cafe TV.
Take a deep breath and a good whiff of that coffee brewing. Grab yourself some toast, a donut, or any breakfast as Dawn and Freddie get you up and ready for the rest of the day.
So call in at 888-565-1470 to share a tip of the day.
Or just to say good morning. Shake off your sleepies, buckle in, cause it's showtime!
Welcome to the Cafe Morning Brew where your bagel meets our laughter. I'm back, baby.
We missed you, baby.
I was a little down yesterday. Had a stomach ache. I don't know what happened. I guess 5 mimosas, a glass of wine, shrimp, lobster, and all that. I guess it caught up to me. And I took some sun that I didn't realize that when you make that antidote and you add a little heat,
Yep.
you get a little sick. So I
You get
wasn't
a lot
feeling well.
sick. I know. Welcome back. We missed you.
I am back. You know what they say? It is time to rock and roll because everything around us, it just is an interesting conversation.
Who says that?
Oh, so we got Pippi Longstocking in the other room. I'm glad I love her braids and her water bottle. And she's doing, I'm going to let her fill us in. She's doing like a whole 75-day challenge in there.
Is that what happens when you do a 75-day challenge? You get ponytails that look like you're 15?
I don't know. She smiles a lot more, so she'll have to fill us in. It's part of the Teddy Unscripted show, but that's her story to tell. But I'm glad she's here, and we got Slick and Vinny. We got to nickname these guys something.
My cousin Vinny and Slick Speaks. What more you
Frickin'
got?
frack. I don't know. These two are just like thick and thin. You know what? I have an idea though. Happy Tuesday, everyone, and then we'll go into our ideas. Give us a call to the studio 888-994-4995. Press 1 for Studio A, as our executive producer has on that message machine. But they have this thing that they love the pasta from Sunny Stop. So I think you should go over every day and do a segment with them on the pasta of the day.
Yeah, I have but I do have their number, so like when they do make pasta, because they don't make it, I think they didn't make it yesterday, so I had to substitute some other stuff.
What'd you have?
I had wings. Yeah, I had wings with blue cheese.
How was it?
It was amazing.
But that's not pasta.
But it was
Why are we
pasta.
talking about pasta and you're having wings?
Because she didn't make pasta yesterday, but she is making lasagna today, so I'm definitely going back. I'm definitely.
Do you know her first name?
I do not.
Do you know his first name?
I do.
You do
not.
You do not.
All right, so your mission today
Is get both of them for.
both names or get
But,
addressed?
they don't have a Roku. They have a Fire Stick,
We have that
unfortunately.
too.
Oh,
We're on Fire Stick as well.
okay. But I will
We'll
get
take
their
care.
first name today. It's just like I never got past the food, so I think I was distracted by the food, and then I never
We
asked for
never
their
got
name.
past the food. He had to walk through the entire store to get to the food, but he hasn't gotten past.
And I
the
never
food.
like asked them for their name. I was just so like, this is lasagna. This is
Vinny,
This
what'd
is
you have for lunch yesterday?
burgers.
From the same place?
Yep.
So you guys seem to like the Sunnyside food.
They have dope.
He gives a lot of food. I gotta admit, for the $6 or whatever you pay for a burger, it gives you a lot.
And they're so nice. Last time we got 5 burgers and a side of fries for like $37.
No, we
And
got
someone
5 burgers and a side of fries and a bag of potato chips because somebody forgot my fries. Yeah.
But I think their prices are great. Breakfast is like $4, and it's only 50 steps from here. It's Val says, how do you know? I said, I counted. When you walk, do you count your steps?
No.
Anyone else? I don't know
Dawn.
why I do that.
I tried to tell you, stop saying these things in public. Please.
I remember when I was a kid, my piano teacher, she moved and she lived around the corner from us. So I would walk to her house. She was like 4 houses down. And I would count how many steps from my house to her house. Why would I do that? Is that the strangest thing? And I noticed I was doing that the other day when I walked over to Sunny Stop that Thursday. I thought, well, I left my phone here. And if between here and there something happens to me, it's only 50 steps. So someone will find me between here and there. No, this is coffee. I'm just saying, haven't even ventured into my tea yet for today. But
You know,
Anyone
not
do
for
that?
nothing, but you're getting more strange by the day. I gotta admit, you are getting more strange by the day. Even the crew is beginning to pick up on
well,
it.
I started yesterday a challenge.
Of
I
course
don't,
you
want,
do.
I don't want to give the name away of what it is, but I started a challenge, and it's quite interesting. And do you know what, in their mind, HOPE stands for?
That's the challenge, or are you asking a
This
question?
is just one of the questions. I don't want to give away any of who they are or anything, but HOPE, HOPE. If you could change the acronym, what would it mean to you?
If I could change the acronym, I got to figure that
Instead
one
of
out.
just HOPE.
I'm changing an acronym. Niggas like with me. The hell's they talking about? If I can graduate from college and figure out what acronym means.
HOPE, like H stands, like, remember I used to say we are HOPE, home of production and entertainment.
Oh, you want me to do all that?
For HOPE.
Like a hidden meaning between there.
It has a meaning on the word. Wait a
Yes.
second. I have to change it and give you the meaning? I ain't doing it.
So
Stay
like
with hope.
Dawn, if you switch the letters up, you get wand, right? Remember they told us that from 3D
But that's not
Journal?
an acronym.
No, so HOPE. Anyone? This is like Jeopardy. This is Jeopardy. He's gonna look it up.
Like heal our people everywhere?
Yes. Like heal our people everywhere.
Okay.
Theirs was help one person every day.
I see.
So I kind of like that. It kind of stuck with me. Heal our people everywhere. I like that, Freddie. We should do like a crossword Scrabble.
Today,
of
oh,
hope.
today. I need to remember today.
Jenny's got her face in her hands going, oh, here she goes again.
You know, you're going to have to go to the doctor, get some kind of medication. Because I really think you've lost it. You're like in the deep end.
Hope. Anyway, what does hope mean to you is all I can ask. 888-994-4995.
So you join the club and that's what they do?
No, they talk to you, and it's interesting because it's really taking your business, how to level up your business in 5 days. Anyone can spend 5 days bringing themselves forward a little bit more. And there's over 300 people that are in this group. And it's a live call every day at 2 o'clock, which I don't get on the lives because we're here. So I was here late last night watching the recording of yesterday's teachings. And it was interesting. And then part of the course is you have to do an introduction video. And then today was you had to do a badass video, something that makes you a badass or empowered or a warrior, whatever you want to call yourself. And think about all those moments
You have
in
to
your
make
life.
the video and submit it.
Right. That you,
I think the guys should join this club. It's a good way to pick up chicks.
it's not really their demographic though. They're older. They're like our
I gotta
age.
tell you, these guys need a little help.
They're
Because
like our
some of the
age.
things they do, they have too much time on their hands.
Slick has no time.
I
You've
don't
gotta go
have.
out
I
in the
don't have no
studio.
time. After I leave the studio, I go to Home Depot, and then it
Are you
resets
dating
again.
somebody?
Oh no, not at the time.
At
It's
Home Depot, they got a
quarantine.
lot of people to see.
They do. They do.
They got some.
They got some lookers.
heifers.
Yeah, they got
Oops,
some
I'm not
lookers.
allowed to say that. They
Yeah.
got some brick house. No, I'm not
Oh.
allowed to say that either.
No, you
what
can,
can I say?
you can say brick house because they are some women that
I can say brick house.
Mm-hmm.
They
You
got
can say
some.
brick house.
They got some good-looking women.
Yeah, you can say
They
brick
do,
house.
right?
Yeah, you
Teddy, your
can.
grandmother's hilarious.
What's she right?
She goes, no, Dawn, you're not crazy. I've been counting steps for 83 years. It's an indication of OCD. Thank you, Grandma. See, I'm more like Teddy every day. Now her grandma relates to
Your
me.
cluster grows.
Thank you, Grandma. 100%. I know.
Oh my God.
But look, I want to ask you guys. I was talking to my daughter. It's very hard to meet people now when you're single. But apparently, she said on the apps, this is part of our issue of our society. They still want to meet and hook up.
Yeah, they do. Like
So what's up with that?
these apps are like, especially with me. Like I get the app and then I uninstall it because I'm like,
What
this is
app do you
really
get? Hook Up Anonymous? What's the app?
anonymous.
What is the app? There's an app?
What is it right now? What is it right now? I uninstalled Tinder because I was like, I don't want it
Tinder?
anymore.
Tinder.
Yeah,
Tinder in the day was a meat market. Is it still a meat market?
it kind of is.
So let me get this right. You go to a Tinder to meet somebody, you find somebody, you hook up, and then you get rid of your app so you feel guilty?
No, as in like I see that it's not really that serious or like because last Tinder before I uninstalled this Tinder was back in January before like the hoopla of the pandemic, and basically the person I met I was like I don't want to do this anymore. To be honest with you, it was like
Okay, I got the question of the day then.
yeah.
Should you get into a serious relationship being a young person like yourself? Should you do that? Or an older, doesn't matter. Should you do that under the present conditions? Because right now you're looking
I
for
don't think
somebody
so.
to spend some time with. because you're a little lonely and a little horny and the whole nine. Yes, people do that. And then you find somebody, you hook up, and then
Do people really admit to being that?
horny. Everybody that joins Tinder.
So I just
Everybody's writing in.
No, I just joined.
Yes, yes, he is.
No, that
yes,
that did
yes.
not cross
that's
my
another
mind,
yes.
everybody.
And
When
they're
I
asking,
when I
yeah,
got
that's
Tinder.
another yes. Yes, that's
No,
another yes.
no. It was I'm a man looking for a woman. That's it. I didn't.
Oh, so
they
you
didn't
want to
ask
call it
it.
a man looking for a woman?
They did.
Not
They, what
horny,
is it?
just
They,
a man looking for a woman.
that's it. That's it.
I gotta tell you, Teddy met her boyfriend the good old fashioned way.
To Tinder?
Out. She was out with Steph. Steph is hilarious.
What are you talking about? Teddy met a guy who his friend bit Steph in the face.
I know.
That in itself, I found always to be a
Are
little
you still
strange.
friends with the guy
The face
guy
biter.
that bit her?
The face biter.
He wasn't with Michael? Oh, he was just a random guy that came up and bit Steph. You remember Steph? You weren't here for Steph. So Teddy was friends with one of our other producers, and they went out on a Saturday night to Delray, and Teddy met Michael, and Steph meets this guy who comes up and bites her in the face the same night.
Bit her in the face.
Bit her.
Weird.
Oh, like on the shoulder, right?
On the shoulder. That's weird.
On the cheek.
And it's funny.
How weird is that?
And it's funny because if he did that to her today, he would get arrested, right?
Yeah, correct. I think so. Yeah.
This was only 2 years ago, though.
2 years ago. Oh, I thought that was Teddy's friend.
But a year ago, right, Teddy? A year ago.
Ah.
I thought it was Michael's friend.
But should you get into a relationship now under the circumstances that
I
are
don't think
present?
so unless like you're on the right page, because right now it's kind of like cut the BS, because like we are going through like something serious. So I feel like if you're not on the right page, there's no need for you to say I'm gonna get into a serious relationship with you.
So you're keeping it on the aloof. You're keeping it just
On the aloof, yeah.
nice
Keeping
and
it what?
aloof.
Aloof, like just
Keeping it on the aloof. Yes.
That's
very,
what I
very,
thought you said.
very
That's what I
free spirited.
That's a slick way of saying
Very,
it.
very free spirited.
But he understood what I meant.
Yeah, on the aloof, I know what you're talking about. Like
Yeah,
very
it's the
free
thing. I
spirited.
don't know how people are actually meeting
That's what I'm saying too. I'm like, I just
and
like
staying safe.
correct.
You can
They're
meet
just
people
having
and
wild
all
orgy
get sick.
sex.
I think
With a
so.
mask on?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. As a
No
matter of fact, I heard, simply a rumor, they wear a condom with 2 holes in the nose to breathe
Yikes!
on their heads.
I didn't hear nothing.
That's called a ski mask.
Is that what you call it? It's funny how Dawn knows what it's called. But let's ask our ace reporter. Teddy, have you heard any of these rumors out there?
She goes, no.
She's absolutely not. And Vinny's very quiet. You know why? Because Vinny's taking it all, and he says that is very true. Vinny, would you get into a relationship right now? Are you in a relationship?
1, no. 2, I wasn't listening that much. I was on my computer.
Would you get into a relationship being that the pandemic is upon us? Or would you keep it, free-spirited?
I like being in a relationship.
You would like to find somebody steady in this particular environment?
Yes.
Okay. That's
I
interesting.
think a lot of people would. I think part of this whole issue that we're going through is people are lonely.
And what happens if you meet somebody, you really like this person, and they have the virus? What would you do? Just wait 2 weeks and start again?
You know what happened? I think that happened to my daughter back in November. I know we didn't have it in the United States in November. However, I think we did. My opinion, so you can write to me. So she was dating this guy, and on the second date, he calls her and he says, I can't go out, I feel really sick. So she thinks he's lying because it was like 2 days after their first date. And P.S. a week later, she got really sick for like 6 weeks. And he had just come back from Europe. He had been on vacation. And he came back. He was really sick. They never went out again. But then she got really sick for like 6 weeks.
But so why didn't she call him during? Just because you don't go out because you're sick doesn't mean you can't talk to people.
Because then I think they thought you start thinking people are making excuses of why not to go out. But apparently he must have been really sick because then she got sick and I got sick. And we were all really sick back in November.
But so, can somebody explain this to me? So what? He's sick.
Well,
You
it's
go
hard
out-
when you've got kids that are of this age
Well,
and
hold
you
on.
give your opinion and they don't want to hear it.
But hold on. Slick, if you meet 10 women, right? One hotter than the other. And you go out with one, and she sort of likes you, and she uses the F word. You know what the F word is, right?
Mhm.
She just wants to be
Fun?
friends.
Oh,
Friends.
Friends.
Oh,
That's the F word.
wow.
That's in the day that
That's-
used to be the
yeah.
word that we ran from.
Oh, Teddy, we should do an Instagram post on Freddie's F words.
Yeah.
This one
Friends.
happens to
Wow.
be hashtag friends.
So you meet friends. She's number one. Number two likes you a little bit more. In other words, you got 10 caveats to
Yes.
pick from, right?
Uh-huh.
Does it make a difference if number 3 says I'm sick, I don't want to go out tonight, and number 6 says nah, not tonight, I'm going out with somebody else, my girlfriend, some BS. But you get to hook up with number 9, number 3. Does it make a difference? Wouldn't
I
there
would-
be better to have a stable than to have one person that rejects you, and then
That
your
keeps
whole
flaking.
day's gone, your
Yeah,
whole
true.
month is gone,
Oh,
your
yeah,
whole life
because
is
you
gone,
were preparing for the day. Yeah, you're right.
right? I mean, Freddie for president.
about
That's
that.
what it
Ready
comes
for
down to.
president for sure.
If you're going to, in this pandemic, you should have at least 10 numbers. We used to call them digits.
Options. That's what you're saying.
Little
we
black
should have
book. That's right. You
little
guys see
options.
that you're writing stuff down now, so
Taking
you're
notes?
beginning to scare
Yeah, I'm
me.
taking notes on this.
So I'm thinking that you have your little black book,
Yeah.
right? And you put your digits in the book, all under to be named later. In other words, you're gonna be your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever it is, and you have choice. That way, it's Monday. Let me see. No, yes, and this is maybe, and yes. So you got 3 shots, 6 shots, 10 shots at going out tonight. And if they all say no, then you go out by yourself, you get another digit.
But how do you meet that many people?
Oh, come on. Now you got to, yeah, it's easy. How many people can slick meet in a day?
Honestly, everybody's a little bit more social now. So,
You have your own fan club.
yeah, to be honest with
Everybody.
you.
You ever seen
To
him
the
hold
point-
court in Studio B?
To the point that I thought, like I'll say, me coming here and then being, at Home Depot, people were like very closed off. Now it's kind of like people are very social now.
Really?
Women as well, but very
I think it's
social.
your personality, buddy.
Me?
I
We
think
got
you've
slick sneaks
changed.
today. What are you
Okay.
talking about, by the way?
Me, it's gonna be very personal today. Not that personal, but I'm talking about
Shaving?
shaving. I'm talking about sleep schedules. They're saying that I would say not the 1%ers, but people that are like on the grind of like actually moving up, they get a bad sleep pattern because we're so focused on goals that we have to reach instead of like the 1%ers that don't worry about like the goals that they have to reach because they're already at the established position that they're like they're already at. So for the people that are not the 1%ers, what can we do to get like a better sleep schedule even through this pandemic?
Okay, well, so
So-
let me ask you, when you're here
Yeah.
and you go, I want that management job,
Mhm.
is that like enough? Or don't you think people want to continue to strive for
I feel like
the
people
next and the next and then break that glass ceiling?
True, I feel like people do want more, but like when you are at like a good financial like spot, you will have like more luxuries than the people that are still like on the grind to get that position that they see you at. And people still will want more, but the comfortability of like financial wise, they can't do everything as the 1%ers.
I'm gonna give you 58 years
What?
of a lesson I learned, and,
What?
and you don't have to listen.
Okay.
But this is the secret.
What's the secret?
Everybody says I want to have a goal.
Yeah.
So you go and you write it down. You put it in your refrigerator. You go to work. You do the Thai routine. You do the extra effort to hit that goal.
Yeah.
Everybody looks at you trying too hard, which is usually what happens, at hitting that goal. Then they become envious. And they start putting roadblocks for you not to hit your goal because they want you to be successful, just not too successful. When you know your goal and you want to hit that dream, just be you. You see, you've already laid out the goal. What's missing is not the goal. What's missing is the path to it.
Okay.
What people don't understand is to be successful. Look at Donald Trump. He didn't expect to be president. He was more shocked than anybody. He says, I won? That was his first reaction.
Correct.
What do you mean I won?
I won?
What is this, a bad joke? The bottom line here is
Correct.
he set a goal, he set the path, and then the rest takes care of itself. Have you noticed, and I'm glad that he brought this up, have you noticed how this kid has changed since he's been here? That guy over there with the mic.
Slick?
Slick, do you notice how much outgoing Vinny is since he's been here? You see, the bottom line here is
Yeah,
if
we-
you sit and you watch and just listen. This guy was holding court yesterday. He was Mr. Teacher.
I know.
He was teaching stuff. He was doing
You did
stuff.
a great job.
Oh,
He was
yeah,
talking
I'll try
to
my- I'll try
Adina
my-
Selena. He was doing his deal. But this has been the Slick way. The other day, Slick stayed here till 4:30 to do some fuego pieces. Did I ask him to? Absolutely not.
It was Friday.
did
It was-
hims-
and it
it was
was
a Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
He did it himself. Not only did he do all the pieces, then he put them together, but he encouraged. They did about 200 takes until he got it the way he wanted it. I walked in there and said, "Am I in the Twilight Zone?"
Yeah, it was dark.
So you see, he hit the mark by being him.
But then you keep looking for more.
Yeah. You always like. I feel like nobody's satisfied until because there's like if you get too comfortable, you probably won't reach like what you were destined to reach. So people will always want more. Like that next position, they're like, "Oh, I'm thinking about that next position on top of my position."
Well, you hit the goal. Now you're
Okay.
creating the paths. Now your goals
Yeah.
are going to grow because your paths getting bigger. So
Yeah.
what did Vinny tell Valerie yesterday?
What did
When
you
she
say?
said she had nothing to talk about.
He said, I'll fill in for you. He said, I got you.
And
Right?
he went on
she
there.
had 7 minutes left. He says, I got you. I got 7 more minutes for you.
But he
And
went
then I
on
had
there.
to cut them off.
And then they kept talking. You should have just let it kept rolling.
And then I was
But
like,
look at the
"Three,
difference.
2."
Look at the difference, the significance of the difference. It could be about this big, which turns into this big. And the difference here is if you want to go, just set the path. You are the goal. You're there. You got to catch up. We talked about this 5 years ago. That's scary, you know that?
Well, that's what I just did my video on this morning. On my, I don't call it a badass moment, but if you actually look where you are right now in life, and you spend time and you think back to all of the dots before today, good or bad, and some of them are bad, it has led you to exactly where you are today. Because from every bad experience and every good experience, you will learn something from that, and it will lead you to where you are. And I mean, there were so many things for me to talk about that led us to where we are today. But I went back to that first one, and people talk about women anyway. You guys ever talk about Plan Bs as a man for your career?
In other words, if
Yeah.
plan A doesn't work out.
Yeah, correct.
Do men
Yeah,
talk about that? I've only heard
I
it
do,
from
yeah.
women.
No, we
We
talk
do.
about different
We do.
plans.
Do you?
Yeah.
yeah.
So I had no plan A. I had a plan A, and you got me fired from that. So my plan B was, I did not know
Uber
what my plan B
driver?
was. Uber driver was my plan B. So I had no plan A.
Did
B,
these
C,
guys
or
know
D.
that you were going to be an Uber driver?
Really?
Yeah, a real Uber driver, but she couldn't
Well, I
figure
was
out
like-
the GPS.
I was between, I can't even say careers. I was between everything in life, and I did not know what I was going to do. So plan A, working where I was working, was done. Plan B was I was working retail, which was awful. Plan C was I meet this crazy man 5 years before I even started Plan C. And they said, can we interview you, a show you were doing? And everyone around me said, don't do that. You got nothing to say.
Yeah, but it wasn't the interview. You see, that was what do you call that when you're
That
doing
was just
something?
a smoke screen?
Yeah, that was the smoke screen.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't care about the interview. I happen to
But
think
you
you
didn't
happen.
even ask me. You had somebody else that had asked me. And
I
then
did ask
stayed.
you for
Yeah.
4 years, and you said
But I
nothing.
didn't even see those messages.
Right, it was you were being interviewed on another show. But I remember that night that I met you when we did that. You were doing that Spanish thing with that product you guys were selling. I don't remember the name of it. And I said, and I got some history on you about running your father's store and everything else in business. And I see Chuck being a successful doctor. I said, you know something? Success never evaporates. Never. You are successful. You are always successful. But we are all successful. There are those that know it and believe it, and there are those that don't. So all of a sudden, I said, okay, I want to work with Dawn and look around. I mean, I'm a good judge of character. I got to tell you something. I am one of the best judge of character. True. All kidding aside, it was a training I had coming up in John Hancock. You want to be the greatest, surround yourself with the greatest people.
What did
because
it say?
you
You are
can't
the
do it
sum of the
yourself.
5 people closest to you.
That's right. And that is a true fact. And if you want to be good at what you do, surround yourself with the best. And if you want to teach those that come, it's a crapshoot, but do you invest the time and the effort to do it? Because there is no, oh, I thought you were. There have been kids in here who have left that I thought were great, right? And they went out on their own. You stay with me, and we'll grow something fantastic.
But if you look back in your life, all those dots, good and bad, lead you to where you are today. And some of our dots, including the middle of October until October 31st for us. You and I had 2 weeks with Teddy and Hector at the time. Those 2 weeks, and our crew stuck with us, and those dots led us to here.
Well, you know, it's really funny
It
because
sounds very simplistic of
but
those
you
dots.
you
but
picked a real opportune time. You know what's going on out there right now. People have to make decisions. You got to make decisions on your workers. Are you going to? There's over 3,000 businesses that have died in Florida
There's gotta be
alone.
more.
And you have to sort of pick what you're going to do. You know, there's not going to be the $600 stimulus. I have a feeling they're going to come up with 400. They're about, one is 6, the other one is 2, somewhere in
I
between.
think so too.
And the stimulus are going to come out with the 1,200 again. I don't know who's getting it, who's not. They haven't decided the bracket. But the bottom line here is that you got to stay a step ahead. Now, these guys are all in their own shows, and it has changed perception of life to them because they write stuff down. They take notes. They talk about things that happen in their life. Think about it. You got so many things around you going on right now. And people sort of want to hear the perspective of how you put it out there.
So I think people want to hear, you look around in social media, everything looks perfect. But if you actually talk to these people, not so perfect. Everyone has a story. Everyone has a life that they've led. Good, bad, and different. I love that Teddy's doing her 75-day challenge, and she's going to talk about that on Teddy Unscripted.
I hope she's around in 75 days. She's not on the ground, passed out.
No, these are all good, helpful things.
This is a diet type of deal?
She's going to have to fill us in on it herself. Teddy, you want to fill us in on what you're doing? There's a mic next. We can hear you. I'll translate. She goes, and then I go like this. But she's doing the 75-day challenge.
Yeah, so it's called 75 Hard, and there's 4 phases to it. I'm in like the pre-phase, the first part, and in it you have to drink 1 gallon of water a day. You have to take a progress picture every day. You have to do 2 45-minute workouts, with one of them being outside. You have to read 10 pages of a nonfiction book. You can't have any cheat meals or drink any alcohol. And you have to follow a diet, but it could be any diet that you want. You just have to follow it.
And if you fall off, you got to start back at day 1?
Yeah. So if you're on 74 and you fall off, all the way back at day 1.
That's a lot. I could see like 21 days, 75 days though. Did you hear what she said? A gallon of water a day, 2 45-minute workouts a day, one of them being outside or exercise,
10 pages.
10 pages of a nonfiction book, a
Um,
diet, any kind of diet that you want,
Yeah. And no cheat meals or alcohol.
and no cheating, no alcohol.
In the day, they used to call that they used to call that the accountability diet.
75 days. And if you fall off,
That's
you got to start again at day 1.
that's 2.5 months.
Like I can see 21 days. They say it's 21 days to make a habit, but that's a huge 75. That's a huge commitment, and to document it along the way. They suggest. So I can't wait to see her
I could
documentation.
do a habit. I could do a habit, but it won't. I could do a bad habit for 75 days.
You can do a bad habit for 58 years. I know, but how do you do a good habit?
She didn't say good habit. She said habit.
I think she probably means a good habit.
If I take a shot of booze and become an alcoholic in 2.5 months.
No alcohol for 75 days.
Or no alcohol. Oh, they got me.
No alcohol for 75 days.
Does that include drugs?
I mean, it doesn't specifically say.
I
It
think
didn't
that-
say. See, you can do drugs.
Bless you.
Thanks.
I think the 10 pages of a book, I think that's pretty cool because it forces you, anyone to be able to read 10 pages a day, right? Forces you to do that. I think
Yeah,
the
but it's
water's
nonfiction.
nonfiction.
It could be a comic book.
Nonfiction means it's true.
It could be a
Yeah, a comic book.
There are some nonfiction comic books, though. There
Listen,
are.
There
Thank
are.
you.
What do they say? Like, wasn't Mouse based on the Holocaust?
Yes.
MAUS.
Oh, I the animation question yesterday. Up. Remember that animation?
I
Up.
love Up.
Up is great.
That's a great one. So I can't read comic books because it has to be non-biblical.
You could, but it gotta be
Nonfiction.
nonfiction.
It gotta be nonfiction.
Mouse. I guess Mouse counts.
You could read the Bible,
Yeah.
I can't even understand the Bible.
10 pages of the Bible a day.
I
That'd be kind
get
of
it,
cool.
yeah.
I
like
get a
that.
migraine.
That'd be kind of cool.
Just hit me over the head with a hammer. Give me the same difference.
Oh, here's what's really interesting. The Jewish High Holy Days come about in October this year. I think they're October.
No, they've been canceled because of the pandemic.
They have not been canceled, but services in person have
Canceled, yes. Everything's canceled.
The High Holidays have not been canceled, but no one is going into the synagogue for them. Everything's going to be done.
You have the
streaming.
high holidays, and me, my Puerto Rican people, we still have the low holidays.
The High Holy Days. No, everyone has holy days. But anyway, no
What's a
in-person-
holy day?
The
Holy,
holiest
holy,
days of the year for the Jewish religion.
in October. Really?
So they have not been canceled. You cannot cancel them. I mean, that's canceling the Bible for all intents
Well,
and
you
purposes.
can cancel.
But they're doing it all streaming. So they're going to be
Let
different
me ask
streaming
you-
platforms,
let me ask
which
you.
is interesting. This is what we do.
I gotta ask you.
Yeah.
Do we always have to be politically correct when it comes to that kind of religion?
We?
Well,
This might be
does anybody
this
have
might be a
to?
you and a me. I
Does
do,
anybody
yes,
have
you,
to be
and-
highly politically correct when it comes to
I always try
religion?
to be politically sensitive when it comes to religion.
Slick? You agree with that, Slick?
Yeah, because I don't want to like,
You don't want to offend people. That's
I don't want to
politically
offend their
correct
religion
means.
because of like my ignorance of not knowing what's going on. I can only speak about my religion, so
Right, but when you talk about religion, do you get respectful?
yeah, I get respectful.
Vinny, you feel the same way?
Yep. Until they take it too far, then I'm like,
Teddy, you feel the same way? When it comes to religion? Okay, then answer me this, Batman.
Yes, my Riddler.
Riddle
Why
me
is
this,
it that
Batman.
we suck as a person all throughout the year? We'll fight, we'll curse, we'll kill one another, but then when it comes to religion, we turn respectful.
Well, here's what's really interesting. And sometimes when we're on the bima in the Jewish religion, it's like being, I don't know what you call
You
it.
have a
Catholic.
bima?
When you go up where the priest is, what is that called?
Confessional.
When you, it's like the stage.
Oh, the altar.
The altar, okay. So if
The
you go on the
stage?
altar, I don't know what you call it. Okay, the altar, we call it the bima. When you're on the bima and you're being honored and you look out for these thousands of people and everyone is solemn and they're in prayer and deep prayer for that one day a year. But yet, for the other 360 plus days of the year, they do that. Some do that. I don't get it. I mean, you and I have had this conversation.
But I don't
Why is
understand.
it when you sit under God's roof, when to me life is God's roof, when you sit under this building of this hallowed way, does everyone suddenly feel like this is where they're in prayer?
Well, no, God, I get.
But God's
There's always
everywhere.
respect there. I just don't understand why is it that we are only
We're
respectfully
not. Look how many people
nice.
don't respect other people's religions. Look at the Middle East. They don't
But this
respect
is my
anybody
point.
else.
So-
Ever.
But
some of them.
then the bottom line here is, are we? Or we just say we are.
Some people are, some people aren't.
Like if I see the rabbi, I go high five to the rabbi, you get mad at me. Why?
I don't. I was walking around the neighborhood the other day, and my neighborhood's become very Orthodox because we're very close to the Orthodox.
You're not
synagogues.
allowed to give that rabbi a high five. You're a woman.
So the rabbi now, the Orthodox rabbi, lives in my neighborhood, and I was walking
Oh,
around.
that's good police.
It's really good, and on Shabbat, everyone's walking around the neighborhood. It's really kind of cool to see everyone actually.
Have you ever
stop
gone to his house and
and
shake
take
his hand?
A break. No, he's actually offered us to come for dinner, but no. Anyway, his wife was sitting outside with the kids, and then there was another neighbor sitting socially distanced away, but it's going back to old times. I think architecture is going to change. I think it's going to go back to the front porch. I think new houses are going to be starting to be designed with the front porch, so people have a place to sit outside, spatially, socially distanced and isolated. I think that's coming down. You'll see. When you see that come out, you're going to laugh at me.
I'm
You're gonna
laughing.
go, she was right.
I'm laughing already.
Oh, but by the way, did you know the Bronx, one of the nicest places in America, it was just named.
Yeah, where? Where in the Bronx?
I'm going to tell you because I saw this today.
Yeah. Show me where. The only place that I would consider that to be true is City Island or on the water over by Throg's Neck, which was always been. That's where the baseball players
Let's
live.
see, Riverdale.
Forget about it.
They say Riverdale was just named as one of the
Forget about
the
it.
50th nicest places in America.
Forget about it.
2020.
Forget it. Listen, you go to Riverdale, I got a bridge to sell you.
Riverdale, they're saying, and we should actually, I was thinking of calling because they're
You're gonna move there?
no calling them because what they've done, they've started a friendly refrigerator.
Who do you know in Riverdale?
I'm reading this. This was in Reader's Digest. They started a friendly refrigerator and they have it outside at one of the ends, I guess, of the street in Riverdale. And you put food in and you take what you need, you replace what you can. And this has become a community refrigerator and they're delivering pizza around to those who need it. One of the friendliest cities in the United
Now,
States.
do you want the truth?
Yeah.
Do you want to know the truth? My auxiliary tour was up in Riverdale.
Was that your street of coming and
No, that was in Manhattan.
Okay.
But there was you cross a little bridge and you're in Riverdale. Riverdale, the rents are so expensive. Only the greatest people live in Riverdale. You got to have money to live in Riverdale. Money and more money. And did I say more money?
So that would be why they're donating all the stuff
And
they're
I will,
donating in Riverdale.
and I will bet you $100. You in your in the Jewish faith, they have kibbutz, don't they?
Kibbutz?
Where you sort of put all the food in one
Like a
hut and
co-op,
everybody lives in
yes.
there. I guarantee you that refrigerator belongs to a Jewish family that put it out there, and that's what they're doing. I guarantee it.
They
That
said
ain't.
somebody donated it, then it
Yeah,
died,
yeah,
and
yeah,
someone
uh-huh.
else donated
Yeah,
another one.
uh-huh.
This is the article, is all I can tell you.
All
But
I can
thought,
tell you.
I thought that would be nice to share that with
It
you.
is, but it isn't what it appears. Just be very careful with that,
Interesting.
okay? Because I can tell you something about Riverdale. It's very expensive to live there. It's
So
like
explain
Hollywood.
to me, the Bronx has different subdivisions within it?
Well, that section of Riverdale, that section in the Bronx, that's what Columbia University Stadium is and all out there. Fancy schmancy. That's
Well,
Van
like
Cortlandt
Boca's
Park.
Boca. There's not subdivisions.
No.
The Bronx is that big of an.
It's huge. It goes on the west side, which is Riverdale, Van Cortlandt, and then Van Cortlandt goes to Yonkers. So you have Van Cortlandt, you come across back to Pelham Bay, you go to DeWitt Clinton High School, you go down the Grand Concourse. But as you get closer to the Yankee Stadium, it begins to turn pretty hostile.
Interesting. I thought that was a nice little story to tell you, but
No,
I guess
that
you
don't
didn't
work.
think so.
I'm surprised. I want to see how many chains they got on that fridge that they haven't stolen. Now that you said it, Steve-O, don't you dare. Don't make that phone call.
So I was thinking, it started out, and now that you say that, it kind of makes sense because apparently there's an Orthodox community in Riverdale. So I guess
There is an Orthodox.
So
It's 90% off of that.
okay, so this started, and they started delivering pizza to families because they needed it for Purim. And now you're talking back in March, and there was no Purim party, so they delivered it to the congregants, and it sort of grew and
I know
paying
what's
it
going
forward.
On. I know what's going on there.
And then they delivered this refrigerator.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
I am going to get a refrigerator and put it in the heart of Boca.
I was thinking.
I'm going to
putting
see
it
how
outside.
long it lasts. It'll last over 15 minutes before somebody picks it up and takes it home.
I was thinking about how long a cord they needed to plug it in. Is what I was
No,
thinking.
they're doing it off a street lamp. I know exactly what they. This is not the first time I've ever seen this.
What do you mean they're doing it off a street lamp?
You do a converter and you put it off a street lamp.
Really? You're a man of many ideas. I'm thinking a long extension cord from our building here. I know nothing about being
And
streetwise.
if you want water, I can show you how to do that too. But that's a different story.
I thought it was a nice story. No, not. And then there was a
It
city
is a
in
nice
Orlando
story,
that,
but it isn't what you think it is. It's not that fluffy, the unicorn
big feel-good
spray
unicorn
farts
thing?
a thing of gold. No,
Really interesting.
not so much.
Interesting. Good
But thank you for
morning.
doing it.
Are you Frank? Very nice to meet you. He's leaving us a book. Can you just reach around the corner, please? Frank, we're going to be interviewing Frank tomorrow about his
perfect.
book. Thank you, Frank.
Okay, good to see you.
You as well.
Well, this is very interesting.
So Frank actually reached out to WNN a couple months ago.
I remember that.
And at the time, things had changed, but Can't Get No Satisfaction by Franklin Ryder. We're going to be interviewing him tomorrow. We're going to read this book between today and tomorrow. And you know what, guys? Here's our first 10 pages of a nonfiction book.
How do you know it's a nonfiction?
Because I know what the book is about. It's about what happened, a quest for racial equality in northern Florida in 1965. So,
Yeah, that's
nonfiction, 1965, and again, look how pertinent it is now in 2020.
Now, did you see in 1968 all the racial inequality
You
and stuff
ask
going
and you
on?
deliver.
1968, I was 6 years old, and I'm trying to remember. I know that when I was 5, I went to kindergarten. I lived in Popham Avenue. But when I was 6, there was a lot of stuff. Martin Luther King got killed. 2 months later, John F. Kennedy, his brother, Bobby Kennedy, got killed. And do you remember, you were too young.
I was born in 67.
You weren't, you had some Pampers. But I was trying to remember in 68 where I was when all these things happened. I remember the Luna thing. I think that was 69. I remember the Mets winning the World Series. I was 7, I guess.
Speaking of Mets, no baseball?
The Marlins they canceled yesterday and they're canceling today. And they will be back in action tomorrow, from what I
How?
understand.
How many players on a baseball team?
It's expanded. They expanded it. They are 60 players. They got a taxi squad. There are 30 players. And they got a 30-player taxi squad in case this happens.
So this is like
That
a math game. If there are 60 players on a team and 12 get COVID, how many are left to play?
Well, they have to replace the 12 with taxi players. But that isn't the problem. The problem we're having now is that the Yankees were supposed to play the Phillies, so they had to clean the stadium, and it has to meet FDA approval.
It was 25. Now it's 40 because they extended it.
That's on the roster, but they have 60. They got a taxi squad, so now
60?
they get to
Yikes.
go into the taxi squad if they want to. You
I
could
don't
because they're
understand how
over.
they all got sick though. Weren't
But they don't
wearing
know.
masks and playing?
They don't know if these are Miami players. They don't know if they travel with it, and if they did, are the Phillies affected? Because it not only affects the Marlins, it affects the Phillies.
Sure. And then it affects the Phillies, whoever they play next, right?
So the Phillies are playing the Yankees. So the Yankees refuse to go to play Philadelphia. I would just scratch the series until they have. So they got 3 games, 3 days to do their investigation. And even in the investigation, a cell of a virus can be anywhere. So they are boiling the stadium, from what I heard.
Wow.
And the Marlins are supposed to be home to play the Pirates,
Who were the Pirates?
Pittsburgh,
Were they always the Pirates?
the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
You don't remember Willie Stargell and Dave Parker?
Do I remember
We
any of that?
are family when they won the World Series.
Interesting.
Are you serious? Come on.
Totally.
I got a picture from Willie Stargell, Hall of Famer. I went to a restaurant and he gave a picture to Freddie. I got that.
No, it's really interesting because that whole thing, it just exploded within 24 hours.
Well, now you take the head coach of the Washington Nationals, Dave Martinez, who had open heart surgery last year. And he is very concerned. You know, Dave, I would be
Rightfully
too.
so,
Why
right?
don't you just go manage from home? What are you doing there? Well, he's blaming Major League Baseball for saying to him that he has to manage. Oh, you don't have to. Price opted out. He's not pitching, and he's a well-known pitcher. He's upset. Well, you opted out. These guys make a lot of money. They said if they don't play, they don't get paid. So what do you want? You want to get paid, or you don't want to get paid? Major League Baseball said to them, we will pay you if you play. If you don't play, we're not going to pay you. I mean, if you make $30 million a year, should you get paid and miss 1 year? What's the minimum salary in baseball? What's the minimum?
6 million.
No, come on. That's a lie. The minimum. The 40th guy on the team, what does he make?
500,000. I don't know.
It used to be 600,000. I want to see where it's at now.
That's
I think it's
listed.
1.2 million now, isn't it?
563,000.
Still 600,000.
Yeah.
Boom.
So you're gonna get 60. You're gonna get 600,000 for sitting on a bench, scratching your huevos, because you ain't gonna be doing nothing else. You ain't gonna get in this game unless in 60 games, maybe you get in 2. You're a practice player, so they give you film. If you're a pitcher, you have to pitch like the opposing team. If you're an infielder, things like that, you got to do infield fungal practice and all that. I would do it for 500,000. I would do it for 400. As a matter of fact, I'll do it for 100. You know
they're
what? Take
making
it all back.
6
I'll do it for
figures,
free.
No, Freddie
Correct,
for
they're-
president. Is Freddie for the bench?
Take
Yeah.
my $600,000.
I wouldn't blame that. They're making like 6 figures. They make more than like
Than a
practice
common
squad.
worker that works 40 hours a week.
Correct. A practice squad. Anything on any other sport. Baseball
Oh,
players
no,
make a
no,
lot.
no.
Because basketball,
at
but I don't think
basketball.
basketball.
Look at the minimum salary in basketball. You better hold on to your seat when you hear this one. Remember, there's only 12 guys on the basketball team.
Well, basketball, they have everyone sequestered in this one pod, right?
Giant bubble.
No in, no out.
That's right.
But no one sits.
Well, check this out. What is the minimum salary in basketball?
I'm like that you're right, but you are right. Minimum for basketball, no years. 898,000.
And I'm going to tell you something.
Practice
That's going to
squad.
go up.
Yeah.
It was supposed to go up, but now with the pandemic, because there are less
But-
people, it's going to $800,000,
I have-
$900,000.
I have up to 3 years if you're still up to the practice squad. So like your first year is 898 with no experience. No experience. Your first year in, you get $1,445,000, and then it just goes up to $1,600,000, and then another
And
million
what are
six,
some of the
seven, eight.
greats? What did they make? What was Dwayne making and LeBron and
The first year, they made the minimum.
now?
Oh, and LeBron must make, I don't know, $400 million a year. LeBron makes more money in endorsement than he does playing basketball.
That's how it usually is.
And the
400. He makes 450 mil, but that's just NBA.
That's
You
NBA.
you wouldn't even count the endorsements that he had with the school and all that.
Well, look what happened. Look what happened to the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback. He wins one Super Bowl, one, and he writes the largest contract in the history of man.
Correct.
10 years at $510 million.
I'm waiting for what is it? The guy from the Ravens, Lamar Jackson. Let me see when he resigns how much they're going to be paying him
Well,
because
Lamar
if they
has to win a Super Bowl.
true.
He
If
has to win a Super Bowl.
True, if he does.
Now, what is a guy like Brady who won 6 of them worth? $1 billion?
So did he still go to Tampa, Teddy?
Yeah. Who? Brady? Yeah. He's there.
And when's football season starting?
Next month. The funny thing is that football is looking at what's happening in baseball
I
right
was
now.
going to say what's going to happen
They
with
canceled the preseason, which means a lot of guys who would get jobs aren't going to get jobs. You know, this is big business even if you don't get a job. You understand this, right? So let's say that he goes out in the practice, there's 100 players. They got to get it down to 60 players. He makes his salary, it might be 15,000, might be 2,000, depends on who he is and where he comes from. Now he's not getting that opportunity because there's no preseason. So you got to go bag groceries. There are football players that bag grocery. The quarterback from one of the teams was bagging groceries, and they called him. A friend of his called him and said he had a cannon. He's a quarterback. He says he had a cannon. Why don't you come? No, I'm working at Publix bagging groceries. This is how bad he gets. And he went out, and I think it's Flacco, if memory serves me correctly. Yeah, yeah. And now he's
Joe
playing for the
Flacco?
Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco was he was playing for the Ravens at first, but for Tom Brady, they never give his numbers correctly because they say 180 mil. That's on NFL, and then they're adding his wife as well, the white network of
Well,
his
that's
wife.
his net worth.
Yeah,
But you know that Brady gave up money for players on the team. You do know this, right?
For which team? Tampa?
No, for the
Patriots?
Patriots.
Really?
Yeah. So let's say that he should have made $500 million. He gave away 300, 400 million
for the team.
or to him for the team. He gave it back to the team so they can sign better players. You see, a lot of people
team
don't like
sport.
Brady. He's successful, but he understands football. The kid in Kansas City making this money now will restrict who they sign. Nobody better get hurt.
Correct.
He better be good.
Yep.
He better be better. And,
Mhm.
and just remember that every year the NFL gets smarter.
Yep.
And they figure you out. That's why these guys make money. They have the best psychiatrists in the world.
Do you think the guy that took an A, Kaepernick, is that his name,
Yeah,
is going to be playing this year?
I don't think so.
Kaepernick?
I feel like he should. You know,
I know Slick does.
I feel like- I
No,
feel-
he
I-
should, but I don't think anybody's gonna sign
no,
him.
anybody's gonna sign him because he's controversial. But I feel
but
like
now it's
somebody's
kinda
gonna
hurting
sign
it,
him.
right?
Yeah, somebody's gonna sign him before the season starts. I'll say like they'll wait a little while after
I
like
think you're
preseason,
right.
but
I
they'll
think they're
sign
going
him.
to make his political statement and sign him.
Well, let me tell you why I don't think they're gonna sign him.
Why?
Not because of him. The pandemic means they're gonna play with no fans. That means
Mm-hmm.
all that income is gone out the window. That means that they don't have monies. So you're gonna have 60 people you want to win an NFL championship. Where does he fit? What team right now can he play quarterback? Now he was an okay quarterback. He wasn't the greatest. He was good. But who are you going to chance to put your team getting to a Super Bowl and not throwing the season away? And you're going to be out money this year.
Well, there are teams that know they're not
There
going to make
there are
it to the Super
teams
Bowl
with
anyway.
like iffy quarterbacks.
Tell
so.
me who. I mean, who's
Iffy
the
quarterback.
number one?
No, Dolphins got a good quarterback now. I was gonna say Dolphins, but
No.
Dolphins got Tua right now.
Yeah, they got him.
They got-
They got
yeah,
the
they
kid in
got-
front of him too. They
So
got the
I
old
would
man.
say, I was thinking about either Giants. Giants lost Eli. He can go to Giants.
You got a
Or he can go
quarterback-
out west,
well, hold
too.
it, hold it. You got a quarterback in New York who's better than Eli. This
We'll
kid
see.
is coming. Oh, this kid is good. What about the Cincinnati Bengals? They had the number one pick.
True,
That's where I would think.
but
they would
he
go.
needs to go to like a place where there's an iffy quarterback, and there's iffy quarterbacks. And
What's the quarterback in Cincinnati? Dalton?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Whoever it is
Yeah,
stinks.
he's. You're right, but
It used to be Tampa, but now they got Brady.
I think someone's going to hire him. Let's see what happens.
yeah.
I don't
You
think
never
so
know.
because of economics.
But maybe it'll not be an economic.
Because they're
thing, it'll be
gonna
more of a political
they're gonna
statement.
hire that kid that they kicked off for Brady, Jameis Winston. I think Jameis Winston. Yeah,
James Winston, where is he going?
Yeah, I don't know where he's going, but they're gonna land
Carolinas?
because he had like 30. Yeah, probably the Carolinas, because he had like 30 interceptions and 30 touchdowns.
NBA.
They're gonna.
Where's Jamie Winston going to play football? Do you know? Look it
Yeah.
up. See where he's at. You see, the problem with NFL sports, Major League Baseball sports, is that a lot of the monies that they bring in yearly, because if you go back in the years, they're billions and billions of dollars a year that they make. I mean, the NFL one time when they settled for $600 million, the concussion protocol deal, they were making $9 billion profit a year. Now it's got to be $15 billion.
It's a whole other
a year.
story, the whole concussion protocol.
Oh, so you went to the Saints.
That's crazy. They don't like Breeze anymore. He always flicks.
No, they look like Breeze, but Breeze is,
He's not
going,
good. Yeah.
Breeze is going long in
You
the
guys
tooth.
should do a sports show.
Oh, that would be
Breeze
too
is-
controversial. We have a sports show
It
on
would
Thursday
be.
nights.
He
Yeah,
wouldn't
but I
like.
mean, you guys should do a sports.
He wouldn't like.
commentary.
Yeah, he wouldn't like it because I would just be talking bad about the Jets. I would
And
be.
who's your team?
The Dolphins. The Dolphins about to do something
Squish
this year.
the fish?
Squish.
Squish the fish. The
Maybe you're
Dolphins.
like-
What are the Dolphins going to do this year?
Dolphins have a good quarterback
Vinny, you
this
like
year.
football?
I don't
You're
watch
gonna
sports
like
in
football.
general.
I go, Vinny, who do you like? He goes, hello.
NBA, who do you like?
Dolphins. I'm tell them.
Teddy, who do you like? The Giants?
Tampa.
Giants.
Wow.
You like the Giants? I thought you liked Tampa. Okay.
Do you know the name of the quarterback on the Giants? He's good. The kid is good.
All
We'll see.
What time is Slick Speaks? It's coming up now, I
See,
think.
it's coming up right now.
Coming
Vinny's
up
gonna
right
be
now.
running my
Tune
board.
in. Amp Media Productions to Slick Speaks. Let's get an in-depth look at what Slick's got going on.
All right.
We got Vinny. I don't know what else we got cooking today. We got Fuego, and I'm sure there's some other shows along the way.
Kelsey.
Hey, Kelsey. But Kelsey's
No,
not coming
Kelsey's
in.
not coming in today. She has to work.
All right. Have a great morning, everyone. Stay safe. Wear your mask. I don't know what our word of the week is, but be kind to each other.
We have a
always.
word of the week.
Which is?
Pasta.
All right. Pasta of the day. Maybe we'll go over there during the 1 o'clock hour, see what pasta of the day is. Stay tuned.
Tell us your favorite dish in pasta. And we'll see you at 12. Don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S will bring more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. Well, see you next time.
In the cold and sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can thicken every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna save it. Your moons and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless as I fall, the words can't say it all, sweeping me away like an avalanche, like an avalanche. I listen for a sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors, just a ray of light.